Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. This is Mastering Your Time, and I have this as a YouTube short. If you would rather read it instead of listening to my voice, you can move over there and it's all listed in literature format. You can read it and you can take notes as needed. You can go over there or you can stay here and listen to my voice on mastering your time, mastering time management. And I feel that this is needed because when you learn to master your time, you're going to have a healthier life and you're going to have a happier life. So I have noted here specific bullet points on different pieces on how you can master your time. So let's get into the first one. The first one is to make sure that you are enjoying your life and that you're living and having a life of passion, a passionate life that you're excited about every single day. So you're just elated to wake up in the morning. And having this mindset will make you want to get up early and start your day. I like to start my day at about 4:56 a.m. in the morning. I like to rise. I'm 5 a.m. type of lady, and this has helped me gain more clarity and more direction and more focus in my life. It's given me more time in the day to do tasks and reach goals. So it kind of comes together. If you're not enjoying your life, try getting up a little bit earlier so you can have more clarity and more focus on what your vision is for your life, what you want your life to look like. So, I'm going to get into more of that in detail further along in this video, but the next point that I want to make is this one, and it is to remove everything in your life that does not serve you. And yes, this means negative people too. So, this next point is focusing a little bit on the first point that I was talking about, but it's about having a vision for your life. So, how do you have a vision for your life? Well, one thing that you really shouldn't do is try to just keep it all up here in your mind. You shouldn't try to keep it all up here in your head because you're going to start forgetting things. Even if you're extremely young, sharp as a tack, write everything down in ink because it just makes things more streamlined and more focused, and you'll have more clarity. So, you're going to be writing everything down, you're going to be planning out your days. I like to plan out my day by the hour. I like to have structure. I am an incredibly, highly, extremely organized type of woman. That's just the way that I ride. Some people are really not that way, and maybe this video may not be for you, but I see that in general, people that have more clarity and more focus and more direction of the vision of their life, they tend to be more happier people with greater financial gain, and they tend to be healthier, all of those things. So write everything down. Write down your goals for the day, the next 3 days, the next week, the next month, the next 3 months, the next year, and the next 3 years. And I keep saying this, but I'm going to say it again. Write everything down in ink. In addition to goals, write down daily tasks and have a habit tracker. This has really helped me just to stay on track is by having a habit tracker, having a note of everything because I have a lot of things going on every single day. And I need that habit tracker to just kind of keep me in line. Like ultimately I know what I need to do, but if there's like one little thing, I'm like, oh, right, did I actually drink 2 to 3 liters of water today? And then I track that, right? Instead of just thinking to myself, okay, did I have 11 cups today or did I have 8 cups today? So have a habit tracker. You can make these in Excel spreadsheets, or you can look for them online, habit trackers. So the next note that I want to make is to stop trying to do everything at once. You're going to want to focus on one thing, and then the one kind of like piece where I'll trail off a little from that is allowing myself to do laundry at home whilst I'm in deep work mode. I will allow myself to do laundry because I love doing laundry, and laundry is very calming for me. So if I'm doing something very intense for work, something of that nature, and I'm working at home, then I will allow myself to do laundry. But that is the extent of it. I won't allow myself to multitask here, there, and everywhere. And even as women, I feel a little bit better at multitasking than men in some respects. I personally like to keep a streamline, a focus just on my work while I'm doing my work. So, how do you work without distractions? Well, you need to remove those distractions. So, you're going to put yourself in an environment that is quiet. And if your environment is usually not quiet, well, get up earlier, right? We're going to get up earlier to create that quiet environment. And if it's still loud, no matter where you are in life, then what you can do is use white noise if needed. So put in your headphones. Don't dial it up so high that you're disrupting the physiology of your system, right? You don't want to damage your ears, but use enough white noise to distract from everything else that is going on. And then if you don't like the sound of white noise, you can do pouring rain. I love harp, right? So there are different types of sounds that you can put in the background that are just going to cancel out everything else in your environment. And some people live in very chaotic environments, which is very disheartening. But my hope for you is that you create a space for yourself, an at-home sanctuary. I don't have this noted in the short, but I have this noted in other short videos that I've made, that I've created. Creating an at-home oasis is so beautiful for the peace of your spirit, and it really helps you gain clarity in your life, and it will help you with your focus and the overall quality of your life. So this next point I feel is very important to make, and it is, when you are exhausted, I don't want you to give up. I do have a video on not giving up, and you can go over to that video if you feel so inclined. But I don't want you to give up. So instead, I want you to take a deep breath. I love taking hot baths. I take hot baths almost every evening to help me slow down, because there are times when I'm processing things in my mind and there's a lot of marbles that I'm juggling, so to speak. And I like to come home if I've been out, or even if I've been home all day working, and I like to settle myself. And in the morning, I start with tea. And then sometimes in the evening, I end with tea. Or I will just end with some hot water or some lukewarm water. But instead of giving up, instead go take a hot bath with hot tea. Or alternatively, have a gentle nap. So I want to continue here. And the next point is one that I've mentioned before in my shorts, in my videos. And this is the ability to say no. This is learning. You must learn to say no. You must learn to say no to situations that no longer serve you. You must learn to say no to parties that have absolutely no value in your life, right? I'm very adamant about not drinking alcohol, and that's a very personal conviction that I have. But I know that not everybody is at that level in their life. Maybe you don't want to be at that level for your life. I know what it does to the kidneys. I know what it does to the liver. And for me personally, I want to live health, to just have the health in my body, right? I want to keep my body as healthy as possible. Am I perfect every single day? No. But, it's at least the 95% rule, I guess you could say, where every single day I get up and I'm aware, I'm like, this is what I want for my body. And learning to say no has taught me to live more in my body. And I've learned to really be aware and read the room and read other people and see if, without getting too metaphysical or strange, just reading the energy of people and realizing if I want to associate myself with them, or if I don't want to associate myself with them, right? Bad company corrupts good character. So you must learn to say no to situations that do not serve you, because if you're going to say yes to every single thing in your life, if you're going to overcommit, if you're going to overwork yourself, you've got to realize that saying yes to everything, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So this next note is maybe for some people a little challenging, but if you can, hire a personal assistant and have them do tasks that will take up too much of your time. And then I want you to stop waiting for the perfect moment to do something. You need to stop waiting for your entire life to be perfect in order for you to make the next move. You need to do what you need to do right now in this current moment, not later. Procrastination is absolutely devastating. So if you're waiting around for 5 minutes or even 2 minutes, realize that that time could be used effectively. You're going to be reading. You may answer an email from a client. Maybe you'll do a stretch, a gentle stretch. Or if you only have 2 minutes, go and turn over the laundry. I don't want you to scroll on your phone mindlessly, and there are so many reasons for this. One of them is for reasons regarding neuroscience, neurobiology, right? When we're doing this mindless scrolling, it's actually damaging to our brains. And I have a video on exercise and how exercise impacts cognitive function. You can go to that video if you feel so inclined. But I do know, and in my past, I remember having moments in time where having a little bit of the scrolling, and I'm thinking to myself, this is detrimental to me. This is not serving my life's purpose. So I stopped, right? It's something that I no longer do. When I was a little bit younger, I used to think, oh, well, maybe something cute will pop up on my phone, but it really wasn't serving me, so I stopped. So the next point is, if you are dreading a task, you need to start that task first if it's possible. Now, if you're not really at that point, I have made a point here, and it's this. Alternatively, do something in the morning as soon as you arise that you love, so you are motivated to actually get up out of bed instead of bed rotting. There are so many people on this earth that suffer from depression and that suffer from other ailments that are in bed and they're struggling. And this is devastating. And I think to myself, the best way for you to get up out of bed, if you're able-bodied and you have the energy for it, right? It could be a motivation issue. It could be a lack of discipline issue. It could be a laziness issue. But if you truly have a life that you are just so excited for, to just get up, and maybe it's a passion for work, maybe it is a hobby that you start doing in the morning. I mean, you have to really ask yourself, what do you want your life to look like? What is your dream life? And is that in alignment with God's will for your life? Of course. And if you really have an excitement about life, you're going to just, wake up in the morning and you'll just be there in that state in the morning. You'll be excited. It'll come very naturally. But if you have a task to do that is challenging or that you're dreading, try to just do it in the morning to get it out of the way. So that way the rest of your day can feel beautiful. So again, if you have stronger discipline, do everything that is challenging first thing in the morning. So the next note is to set deadlines. So set deadlines, especially for your goals. I have pages upon pages upon pages of goals in my personal documents. And I have the dates that I started, the dates that thought came to my mind, and then the dates that I wanted to achieve the goal, how long I wanted to work on the goal, how long I want to work on current goals. It's all there. And if it's not on my computer, if it's not on my MacBook Pro, then it's written in ink. And I really prefer having it in ink because it just feels so much more solid there personally. I feel like you can really change a lot easily with documentation on our MacBook Pros, on our computers, our PCs. And with writing things down in ink, it just really sets things more in stone, in my personal opinion. But set deadlines for your goals. So this next one is one that I used to struggle with a lot, and it is, instead of being a perfectionist, stop procrastinating and just get started. Even if you feel, if you're only like 85%, 95% confident in doing something, you know, I used to be a stickler about the straight A's and university and everything of that nature, right? Now, when I make a YouTube video, I just have to run with it. I get started, I get creative with an idea, and then I just start working on it. You know, and it may be a very um, rough draft stage. Many times it is. You know, it's not immediately altogether perfect, wrapped in a tiny, beautiful bow immediately. It is what it is. But instead, again, instead of being a perfectionist, stop procrastinating and just get started. Just take that first step. Oftentimes, the first step is the most challenging step. And there is a beauty in that, because then once you really start getting movement, things start to become easier and it feels more fluid and natural. So, my last note that I have here is on meetings. I'm personally not really a fan of meetings. I feel that some meetings are absolutely imperative and important, but there are so many meetings where they're very bad. They're just bad meetings. There's no true focus or direction of the meeting. The meeting leader is very disorganized. Maybe they didn't sleep well the night before. Maybe they've procrastinated, or they're just pressed for time, and it's just very chaotic, right? So, on the note of learning to say no to things, adding on to that note is this concept of stop going to meetings that are not adding value to your life. Stop making arrangements with people that are not adding value to your life. And that's where I want to end for this video tonight. I hope that it was helpful. Again, if you want, you can go to the shorts version of this, and nearly everything that I've stated in this video here, this long format video, is noted there if you're more of a visual learner. But again, if you're more of an auditory learner, I hope that this video was helpful for you. As always, have a beautiful evening. Sincerely, Serena.